The winner is John Wayne in True Grit.
John Wayne was more than just a cowboy, he was a one-man empire. While audiences saw grit, guns, and glory on screen, John Wayne was building something far bigger behind the scenes, a hidden fortune that would shock Hollywood and make his family filthy rich. From broken dreams to billion-dollar branding, from tragic mistakes to unstoppable legacy, this isn't just a movie star story. It's a blueprint of how legends live on long after the credits roll. Stick around because what Wayne left behind wasn't just wealth, it was power, pride, and a name the world would never forget. Before he became a household name, he was Marion Robert Morrison, born in Winterset, Iowa in 1907. His beginnings were humble. When his family moved to Glendale, California, he gained a lifelong nickname, Duke, inspired by his Airedale Terrier. The dog was Big Duke, and Marion became Little Duke. He didn't like the name Marion, and that nickname stuck. In high school, he was a star football player. His talent earned him a scholarship to the University of Southern California, USC, where he studied pre-law and joined the football team. But a body surfing injury shattered his collarbone and ended his athletic career. That accident closed one door and opened another. To support himself, he found a job at Fox Film Corporation, moving props and working behind the scenes. There, he met director John Ford, a friendship that would define his destiny. In 1930, director Raoul Walsh gave him a new name, John Wayne. The studio thought Marion was too soft for a Western hero. His first big role was in The Big Trail, an ambitious film shot in a new widescreen format. But most theaters couldn't screen it. The movie flopped. Undeterred, Wayne worked tirelessly through dozens of low-budget westerns, slowly crafting the image of the stoic, strong, and silent cowboy. In 1939, everything changed with Stagecoach. Directed by John Ford, playing Ringo Kid, Wayne captured the hearts of audiences and critics alike. The film was a box office hit, and John Wayne had finally arrived. Through the 1940s and 1950s, he became an American icon. He starred in war films like Sands of Iwo Jima, earning his first Academy Award nomination, and classic westerns like She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, Rio Grande, and The Searchers. His performances reflected strength, loyalty, and a deep love for country. In 1960, he directed and starred in The Alamo, a film he spent years trying to make, and in 1968, he released The Green Berets, one of the first major films to support the Vietnam War. But it was in 1969 that he finally won an Oscar for his role as Rooster Cogburn in True Grit. Gruff, one-eyed, and rugged, it was a departure from his noble characters. Yet it won hearts and proved his range. Off-screen, John Wayne's life was complicated. He married 3 times. His first wife, Josephine Alicia Scenes, came from a prominent Panamanian Catholic family. Despite cultural and religious differences, they married in 1933 and had 4 children: Michael, Mary Antonia, Tony, Patrick, and Melinda. But Wayne's rising fame strained their marriage. They divorced in 1945. His second marriage, to Mexican actress Esperanza Chatabor, was tumultuous. Jealousy, public fights, and alcohol abuse marked their union. In one infamous moment, she allegedly fired a gun at him. They divorced in 1954, and Wayne later called it his biggest mistake. Later that year, he married Pilar Pally, a Peruvian actress. Their union lasted until his death and produced 3 children: Asa, Ethan, and Marissa. Though they lived apart during his final years, Pilar remained a key figure in his life and legacy. But success didn't shield Wayne from money troubles. In the 1950s, he trusted business manager Bo Ruse, who led him into a failed Panama investment, costing him over $1.7 million. Later, his son-in-law, Donald LaCava, also mishandled his finances. Wayne was so broke he couldn't pay a $3,500 Saks Fifth Avenue bill. Humiliated, he took charge. He fired the people who failed him, educated himself in business, and rebuilt his fortune carefully and deliberately. Then came his greatest fight against cancer. While filming The Conqueror in St. George, Utah, the cast and crew were unknowingly exposed to radioactive fallout from nearby nuclear tests. Years later, 91 of the 220 people who worked on the film developed cancer, including Wayne. In 1964, he was diagnosed with lung cancer. Doctors removed a lung and several ribs. He miraculously recovered and returned to acting, but in the late 1970s, he was diagnosed again, this time with stomach cancer. He participated in an experimental cancer vaccine study, hoping for a miracle. Privately, in those final days, he made a personal spiritual decision, though raised Presbyterian. Wayne quietly converted to Catholicism. His grandson, Father Matthew Munoz, a priest in the Diocese of Orange, confirmed the conversion. It was a profound and private choice, rooted in years of reflection and family influence. John Wayne passed away on June 11, 1979, at UCLA Medical Center. He was 72. He was buried at Pacific View Memorial Park in Newport Beach, California. For 20 years, his grave remained unmarked at his family's request. When a marker was finally placed in 1999, it featured a quote he once said, "Tomorrow is the most important thing in life. It comes into us at midnight very clean. It's perfect. When it arrives and it puts itself in our hands, it hopes we've learned something from yesterday." His will reflected his character fair, firm, and detailed. He left generous inheritances to his children and a trust fund for his first wife, Josephine. He gifted tens of thousands to loyal secretaries but completely excluded Donald LaCava, legally banning him from accessing any family inheritance. He also left nothing for Pilar Pallied, as their financial matters had been settled earlier. After his death, his children carried the torch. Michael Wayne became a producer and managed the estate. Patrick Wayne acted in films and upheld the family name. Ethan Wayne took over John Wayne Enterprises, the company that now oversees the brand and products. John Wayne's legacy didn't end with his final bout. It evolved into something far greater. After his passing in 1979, his name transformed into a powerful brand through John Wayne Enterprises, a family-run business that turned his image into a symbol of rugged American pride. From premium wines under Wayne family estates to grilling tools crafted with fire and flavor, every product celebrates the bold, no-nonsense lifestyle Wayne personified. The brand extends to books, posters, and collectibles, each carrying a piece of his story. But beyond business, Wayne's impact lives on through the John Wayne Cancer Foundation. Established after his personal battle with cancer, the foundation funds research, hosts charity events, and educates the public about prevention and early detection. Events like movie nights and themed fundraisers both honor his legacy and support those facing life-threatening illness. Through commerce and compassion, John Wayne continues to inspire strength, hope, and timeless American values. Financially, the estate remains remarkably strong. Films like True Grit, The Searchers, and Stagecoach are still streamed globally. International licensing deals allow fans across continents to experience the legend of Wayne. And merchandise from mugs and memorabilia to clothing lines remains a steady source of income. His brand crosses borders and generations, appealing to both longtime admirers and new fans discovering him for the first time. Yet, what might be most personal and reflective of Wayne's true spirit are the places he built and called home. From 1948 to 1965, he lived in a sprawling 22-room farmhouse in Enino, a suburb of Los Angeles, decorated with Western themes. It was a family-centered space where he and his wife Pilar raised their children and welcomed Hollywood elites. The home was a blend of rustic charm and cinematic legacy. Later, he moved to Newport Beach, into a peaceful, French-style waterfront house on 2068 Bayshore Drive. This home, overlooking the calm waters of Balboa Island, became his retreat. It featured both themed decor, family photographs, and a private dock for the Wild Goose, his 136-foot yacht. Here, Wayne found tranquility in fishing, watching sunsets, and spending quiet moments with his grandchildren. He also owned a vast 670-acre ranch near Nogales, Arizona, with a towering ridge he named Duke's Hill. Intended as a private family getaway, it was never fully realized due to his declining health. In 1998, the land was sold, but the dream and its symbolism remain part of his story. Though the physical buildings may have changed hands, the spirit behind them has not. These spaces were more than homes, they were symbols of the man behind the screen, a man who didn't just play cowboys, he lived like one. In 2007, fans across the country came together to celebrate what would have been his 100th birthday. Cowboy-themed dinners, outdoor concerts, auctions, and tribute events popped up from Texas to California. People donned cowboy hats, boots, and bandanas to remember a legend who captured the heart of the American West. Families shared stories, watched his films, and honored the values he stood for: courage, grit, honor, and resilience. John Wayne may be gone, but through his business, foundation, films, and the homes he built, his legend lives on, etched into American culture, brick by brick. memory by memory. Through his films, his family, and his foundation, John Wayne still inspires generations. He made mistakes, but he stood tall and lived by a code. His words, "Courage is being scared to death but saddling up anyway," weren't just a quote, they were his truth. Like, share, and subscribe for more legendary stories. Thanks for watching.